If you've ever had anxiety and thought, why does it feel like it's taking over my entire body? You know, tightness of chest, choking feeling, fast heart rate, sweating, all of these things, then this video is for you. Now, many people think that anxiety is just in the mind, but that's not correct. Anxiety actually has four components. Number one is physical sensations. Number two is thoughts and images. Number three is the intense feeling of fear. And then number four is the behavior that goes with anxiety. This could be seeking reassurance, avoidance, or escape. Hi there, I'm Dr. Tefe Edebi. I am a consultant psychiatrist and a psychologist. I love doing mental health educational videos to help people understand themselves and to build mental resilience. On today's edition, I am looking at why anxiety feels so physical. Now, one key thing I want us to remember that is really, really important to know is that anxiety does not start in your thoughts. Anxiety begins in your nervous system. I'll take that again. It doesn't start in your thoughts, it begins in your nervous system. Now, when your brain, perceives a form of threat, it goes into a stress response, it goes into a protective response, and thereby it releases stress hormones. Now, it doesn't matter whether the brain is unable to tell whether the stress or the threat is real or not, but it will go into that response. Now, the threat, it could be triggered by a message. It could be triggered by a memory. It could be triggered by a thought of the future. It could be triggered by a conversation, whatever, anything. The brain doesn't know the difference, but then it goes into the protective mode and releases something called adrenaline. And when adrenaline is released, it then causes the body to go into different symptoms, the physical sensations that we experience. And the physical sensations could be fast heart rate, could be increased blood pressure, could be headaches, dizziness, a choking feeling, like a choke like almost like you can't swallow. It could be nausea, it could be abdominal discomfort, it could be muscle tensions. Now, all of these physical symptoms, they are not in themselves, they are not random. They are not just happening out of nowhere as people often think when they are experiencing anxiety sensations. They are actually protective reaction of the body. The body is reacting that way because it's getting into survival mode. It is intentional to protect you. Now, the problem is that the threat may not be real, but the body's reaction is not in itself a problem. It is actually a good response to threat. Now, sometimes people wonder and ask, it sometimes seems like my anxiety comes out of nowhere. Like I am not thinking about anything. I'm not having any conversation. Sometimes you may even be having a good time. Now, the major concerns for many, many people, and that's why we're having this conversation, I decided to talk about this, is not the thoughts and all of that, is the physical sensations that is associated with anxiety. That is the part of anxiety that can be really, really troubling for many people. And sometimes people ask and say, well, my anxiety just comes out of nowhere. I just start feeling those physical sensations out of nowhere. I'm not having a conversation. I'm not having a thought or anything like that. Why does that happen? Now, the reason is simple. Now, the brain has basically two alarm systems that it responds to threats. There is the slow response slow response pathway, which is more like it follows a conscious pathway. And then there's the fast automatic pathway. Now, the slow conscious pathway would normally there will be a thought or there will be something that's happened. So it is conscious. You are aware of what is happening and which triggered the anxiety. So often you hear people say, this triggered my anxiety. It's conscious, it's slow, it's a pathway. But then there is the other pathway, which is fast and automatic. This fast and automatic pathway doesn't necessarily respond per se to language, image, or a conscious thought. So it precedes language, it precedes images, it precedes a conscious thought. So this is how the fast pathway often looks like. It will look like the body reacts, then the mind will notice the reaction or the sensation in the body. So the body's sensation will begin because it's the fast pathway that's automatic. The body will first react, and then the mind becomes conscious of the reaction that's going on in the body. And then the mind then begins to look for meaning, like, why is this happening? So it could look like this. A conversation is going on, no prior thought, no prior anything, and then you just start feeling sensations in your body. Like I said, the biggest concern for many people with anxiety is the physical sensation, and they're wondering, why is it coming out of nowhere? So it seems sudden, and there's so much confusion about it because, like, I wasn't thinking about anything and it just came out of nowhere. So that pathway will normally happen with body sensation, then the mind notices what is going on, and then the mind begins to look for meaning. Now, the problem is this. When the mind then begins to look for meaning, often we then begin to think the fact that I'm having this body sensation is an indication of something dangerous or something bad is happening. So, for example, remember the fast automatic pathway. It could be that the heart starts beating, or there's abdominal discomfort, or there's a tension somewhere. The mind then notices these symptoms and then begins to say maybe something more sinister is going on, something more terrible. And that's where we talk about the catastrophic mindset. You begin to think about the worst outcome and the worst possible outcome. And that then escalates the anxiety, because when the mind begins to think like that, it kind of then confirms that there is a real danger. And this is what's happening. It's not like the mind is broken. Think about it this way. It's like the body is pressing a very loud alarm. And it's not because it's broken, but it's just doing what it has learned over the years to do, which is to protect you. So the body at that point is being overly protective. More like you would say that the nervous system is overly sensitive. It doesn't mean anything's wrong, but then just being able to recognize this. So this is what I would advise, a practical tip that can help. When the body sensation begins, just ask yourself, rather than ask yourself, how can I stop this body sensation? Because that's what you see often. People say, I just want this body sensation to stop. I don't want to feel this thing I feel in my body, because every time I feel it, my mind cannot help but think that something really, really sinister, something really, really bad is going on. But think about it this way. When you feel those body sensation, rather than ask, how do I stop this sensation? Ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me? What is the danger that my body is alerting me of? Now, you don't necessarily need an answer to the question, but this is the trick. Just by switching the question of, I want this to stop, how can I stop this, to what is my body trying to tell me at this point? What danger is there? It will switch from, fear, because the first one, how do I get this to stop, will cause fear. But what is my body trying to tell me? What is the danger my body is trying to alert me to? Will kind of cause you to be more curious rather than afraid. And trust me, just by switching that question, of saying, I want this to stop too. What is my body? What's the fear? What's the danger? What's the issue? What is my body alarming me to? By switching the question, it will take off the layer of fear that the thoughts normally escalates the physical sensation to. So I hope that was helpful. And I would encourage you to practice that. So next time you think about it, when you start having the physical sensations, this is the reason why it's happening. Like I said, this is not necessarily going to stop the physical sensations, but I'm hoping that if you practice this, it will help you to understand why the physical sensations happen in anxiety, the reason why they happen, and how you can best address it. And over time, your nervous system will begin to relearn that truly there's really no danger per se. It is just your mind escalating the body sensation. And this is one technique you can use to address the body sensation, just by flipping the question in your mind, and your brain begins to relearn. Remember, anxiety does not begin with thoughts, it begins in your nervous system. Okay, bye for now. And remember, like the video, share it with someone that you think this may be helpful to for, like someone struggling with anxiety, and just, subscribe. That way you get to know when we come out with other videos as we normally do on this channel. Bye for now.